This is the injury report presented by NYU Langone Health. Look alive, Knicks fans, because in today's injury report, we're talking with Dr. Daniel J. Kaplan, an orthopedic surgeon over at NYU Langone Health, about what could be going on with Karl-Anthony Towns' thumb. Doc, how you feeling this morning? Thanks for hopping on with us.
I'm feeling great. Thanks for having me.
All right. It feels like last week we were talking about Karl-Anthony Towns' jumper's knee. It's like the man's got 9 lives, but you only got 2 thumbs. And you've worked alongside NBA players before, and I'm sure you've seen guys get hurt and go back into the game. But did it kind of concern you to see him attempt to play through the thumb injury?
Brandon, players always want to go back in the game, and it's our job as team docs to help them do that. But at the same time, we also have to protect them from going back in too early and putting themselves at risk. So when determining if a player can go back, it's our primary goal to determine if they would be putting themselves at greater risk of injury. So for ligament injuries of the fingers, there are some sideline tests you can do to assess where on the spectrum of severity that injury is, ranging from a sprain, like it sounds like in this case, to a complete rupture. So the Knicks have a really competent medical team. I'm sure they performed those tests. So honestly, I wasn't concerned when I saw him go back in.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially with him being, the blockbuster trade. You're playing at the guard. You want to show that New York grit and toughness. But I guess what's going to be the best or worst case scenarios for Cat with this thumb sprain? Do you expect him to miss any time? Should they shut him down?
Yeah, so the term sprain relates to the injury to the ligament ranging from a stretch to a complete rupture. And when they use the term sprain, like in the injury report, they're usually meaning it's on the lower end of the spectrum and more of a stretch as opposed to a complete tear. So in that situation, the best case scenario would be maybe missing no time and even playing tonight, which is certainly possible. However, as any of us that have actually played basketball know, there's a whole spectrum of jammed fingers which you can have, and they're not all created equally. So sometimes it takes a couple days to get back in to have full form.
Oh, it's not just you basketball players, Doc. My rookie year with the Giants, I caught a hitch pass from Jared Lorenzen, the hefty lefty, rest in peace.
I remember.
Jam my thumb up, and I'm just sitting there walking around. Everybody's telling me to tough it out, but it's like, this dude just threw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball with a football, and then like I got to walk around trying to catch football passes now. But I mean, I can't shoot a corner 3 like Cat does. So how can his thumb injury potentially threaten his shot or his ability to defend?
So I don't think it would take too much on the defensive end. If his thumb was hit in the wrong direction, it would probably be very painful, but I don't think it would affect his ability to help down low. For shooting, so power is generated first from the legs, then transmitted to the trunk, up to the shoulder, and to the hand. The fingers really help with control. So if you imagine trying to hold a basketball in your hand without a thumb, it would be very difficult to balance that ball on your palm. So the thumb is really helpful for giving you that accuracy. So if your thumb is limited and you can't position it the way you normally would, shooting accuracy may be a little bit affected, particularly for those corner threes like you mentioned.
Okay, so that sweet shot of Cat's, it might be a little off tonight, but Doc, the Knicks don't play no defense anyway, so he'll be all right. He'll be all right with a sore thumb
They'll be
for
the
tonight.
same.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about, because we always talk about professional athletes, and we get the best doctors like you and the best trainers before your weekend warriors or your guys that hoop at the YMCA or 24-hour fitness. They don't get that type of professional treatment. So for those who aren't professional athletes, would their recovery from a thumb sprain differ, or would it kind of be similar?
So I really love that question because I get patients all the time with injuries that they're familiar with from watching sports, think like an ACL, and they'll always say, I don't know why you're telling me it's going to take me 8 months to recover when I saw, Adrian Peterson come back in 6. And professional athletes have a lot of things going for them that we don't. So first, they're just freaks of nature and they're in incredible shape. And, for your average weekend warrior like myself, I'm definitely not. So that's one thing, mark against us. Second, they have access to the best resources in the world. So they have incredible physical therapists, both for the actual physical therapy, the rehab, the nutrition, that stuff that you and I don't necessarily get access to that really makes a difference. So in general, most injuries do take longer for your average weekend warrior than the professional athlete. That being said, for a thumb sprain, the real determining factor isn't so much any of those factors. It's really more the severity of the injury and how much that ligament was torn. So while a professional athlete may come back a bit sooner than the average person, the real driving force is going to be that injury to the ligament.
Doc, I heard you say you're a weekend warrior. Let me find out you got a jump shot. You shooting from you
Yeah, I
shooting
got
from the
it.
logo? What's up? You shooting from the logo?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on the shorter end, so I'm more of that corner three type of guy.
Awesome, man. Well, Doc, thanks for hopping on with this. And next time you go hoop, join me. I'll be your rim defender.
Sounds awesome. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.